Well, I'm revisiting my concept of practicing just by buzzing the mouthpiece, and just to like re-examine my whole approach and everything. And it's good to re-examine your approach to everything you do, every now and then, because you change, your situation changes, the things that you practice might suddenly no longer apply to your situation, and so you always kind of reinvent and redo things in different ways. So I'm revisiting my mouthpiece buzzing routines, and um, I've had a lot of conversations about mouthpiece buzzing in general with a lot of brass musicians, some of them some of the best players and teachers in the world over my last 40 plus years of tuba playing and 50 plus years of playing trombone and euphonium. You know, um, some teachers say don't buzz your mouthpiece at all. Doesn't do anything. It's different than playing the instrument, so why should you practice something that's not the same as playing the instrument? And they got no value from it. And I said, okay, and there are many years where I never just buzzed the mouthpiece or did anything like that. And I've had other teachers who say, um, if you're having trouble playing any piece, any passage in a piece of music that you're working on, whether it's a concerto or an orchestral excerpt or band excerpt or just your scales and so on, if you're ever having trouble, take the time to just buzz that section, isolate that section you're you have trouble with, and play that on the mouthpiece. Just buzz it on the mouthpiece, and it will get better. I said, okay. So I tried that, and it worked. It does work. And then I've had other teachers say that you should practice a buzzing routine, um, and have a specific set of exercises that you do all the time. And so I started doing that, and I came up and I took the four exercises that I was given by some of the best tuba players in the world, and I started doing those 5 days a week. And I did notice that no matter what instrument I was playing, I felt better when I was playing. I felt like I had more control on it over every note. Whether I was playing trombone, tuba, or euphonium, I felt my endurance improve, my control of the very first instant of every note improve. I've discovered that my flexibility improved. I discovered that my range improved. And there were notes that I never could reach that suddenly became kind of routine. And so I've tried many different approaches, and I've been cautioned by every tuba and euphonium and trombone teacher I've ever had to not buzz the mouthpiece too much, because you can get too muscular, and it reduces your flexibility. And they say that it takes about 3 to 6 weeks of consistent mouthpiece buzzing for that to happen, because your muscles around your face, around your embouchure, are not that thick or big, and so it's easy to develop them too much. I didn't experience that when I started doing a specific set of mouthpiece buzzing exercises 5 days a week. I didn't feel that I got too muscular and was losing flexibility for about 2 years. And not doing it every day, but 4 to 5 days a week. Sometimes sometimes your schedule, you just don't have time, But I started doing that every, 4 or 5 days a week, and yeah, it did happen. But I re-examined how I was doing those exercises, and I changed the way I was doing, and that cleared up that problem. And the mouthpiece, I use different mouthpieces when I buzz. Sometimes I'm using my euphonium mouthpiece, sometimes it's a bass trombone mouthpiece, sometimes it's my trombone mouthpiece, my tenor trombone mouthpiece. Um, Sometimes it's the tuba mouthpiece that I use the most. Sometimes I use this one here. This is a plastic mouthpiece. It's extremely light. Um, an extremely light mouthpiece helps you avoid too much pressure on your face. You don't want to push against your face. Remember, the buzzing comes from within, not from without. And you use your breathing and your embouchure control and your ears to control the buzz. And so when I'm using my brass mouthpiece, one of those, I try to use it in a way that I'm not pushing the mouthpiece against my face. I use it in a way as little pressure as possible. And I don't have one of those with me at the moment, but I will do more videos about that. So this is a Kellyberg mouthpiece. I'm not endorsed by them. I just happen to have one of these. In fact, this was a gift from one of my students years ago. It's the glow in the dark one. If you could see, if it was dark in here, you could see it glow. But it's extremely light. When you're doing buzzing, you don't want your mouthpiece in a fist. That's going to create too much pressure. A professional trumpet player that I first heard speak almost 45 years ago would say, hold the mouthpiece way out here on the end of the shank. And if your fingers start creeping up the mouthpiece, you're pushing too hard. And I've always kind of thought, yeah, okay, that's not a bad idea. It's a good metric to kind of guide yourself. So you don't want to have a fist. You do want to kind of be over here. Sometimes if I've got my brass mouthpiece, I'm actually balancing it on my thumb and against my face, and that helps create a situation of low pressure. So when I start, the first note I'm going to do here, I've always got the piano because it's part of your ear training also. The mouthpiece buzzing is always a part of your ear training. And so I've got this concert F. This is middle C, down an octave, down a fifth to low F, and start on the F. Okay? If you start on that note every day, eventually you'll be able to start that note without hearing it on the piano first. So start there. Start the note in multiple ways. You want to try different articulations. Like maybe you just want to start with the air and try to see how fast you can start the note from the time your air is moving forward. Right? As soon as the air hits your lips, the buzz should start. I know this is a long video. I don't like to do 8-minute videos. But this is kind of a long video. It's kind of like the idea of how to do the mouthpiece buzzing exercises or why I do them and some techniques. So remember, what seems to work best is to get a set of 4 or 5 or even 3 mouthpiece buzzing exercises that you can do every day. And that doesn't take too much of your practice time. The most you should practice mouthpiece is about 20 minutes a day with breathing exercises between each exercise. So when I do each mouthpiece buzzing exercise, I stop in between, do some breathing exercises, let my face kind of rest and get the blood flowing again, keep the blood flowing right, and then I do the next one. And then I do some breathing exercises, maybe walk around, do some stretching. That whole routine does about 20 minutes. Any more than that can be overdoing it. So there you go. Okay, I said I didn't like doing 8-minute videos, and now it's a 9-minute video. So anyway, there's kind of an introduction to mouthpiece buzzing, and we'll do more.